Okay, so let's have a look at the mixer page in Cubase quickly. So to get that open quickly, you can just press F3. And so you can see the various channels that we've got open here. So here's our Groove Agent. I've got Halion. I've got 2 tracks of Halion open. And we've got our stereo output here as well. So what we can do as well, if we just want to look at one particular channel, I'm just going to close the mixer page again. You can see everything you need to from these channel settings. So if I do Control E, so you get this window pop up, and you can put your inserts in, you can do your EQ, equalizer, you can add sends, and you can see also your main channel fader and the stereo output fader as well. So it's a very quick way to just deal with one channel at a time, and it's pretty good. So that would be great if we want to EQ all of the drums together. So let's just have a quick listen to that. Okay, so you've got your cycle on off here, and you can also change that with the divide key on the numerical keypad, so you can, there's a key command to switch that on and off. So let's just turn the low frequency on. So this is a low shelf at the moment. So it's adding a nice bit of weight to it. So let's get a little bit more punch. We'll start with some low punch first. Let's just take this to around 120-ish. So you can hold shift and you can move it in smaller values. So obviously you can hear it's affecting the snare a bit, so I'm just going to back that off. Cool, so already I can see that there's going to be very particular things that I'm going to want to do to each drum. So let's now separate the drums onto different channels. So I'm just going to reset these. So I've just held Command and then clicked on the gains, and it puts them to the center position. So what we're going to do now is we're going to enable separate outputs in Groove Agent. So over here in our inspector, we can open and close this section. And right here, there's a little button here that says activate outputs. So sorry, it says it when you hover over it, activate outputs. So we're going to click on that now. And then we're going to activate another output for the snare and the hi-hat as well. So now when I press F3 to go to the mixer page, you can see it says out 2 and out 3 next to Groove Agent. But we now have to tell Groove Agent what we want to put on those outputs. So let's do that now. So I just selected the kick pad and I'll leave that on the main output. So for the snare, that's going to go to out 2. And the hi-hat's going to go to out 3. So let's just have a look at that to make sure that's happened. So it's going to turn the click off. Cool, so now I'm going to relabel these. So I've got kick, snare, hi-hats, so if we were doing the same thing in Logic, setting up separate outputs, there's ways to do that as well, obviously. So This drum kit I had originally loaded before already has been set up, so it comes out on separate outputs. It's on a track stack. So what we're going to do is load a new software instrument. So I've used the key command, Alt Command Shift, and I'm just going to load Drum Kit Designer. So it's like Drum Machine Designer for acoustic kits. So you see you've got a stereo version and a multi-output version. So you'd select the multi-output version. Okay, so once you've done that, you'll see in the mixer page, you've got a plus button there. So you can actually do this even if you've previously selected it as a stereo version. If I go back now, if I show it as a stereo, you can see there's no plus button there. So you could program a beat and switch it to multi-output on the fly. So if we switch this back, it'll keep all your settings that you've got and just change it to multi-output. So you click the plus button. Now in Logic on Drum Kit Designer, it sort of assigns the outputs and names them as well. So the kick will come up here named, snare will come up here named, and the toms as well. And so that's how you would do it in Drum Kit Designer.